Hello and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Emily and I post weekly beauty videos and tutorials. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Today's tutorial is going to be on this simple and classic smoky eye look. I go step by step, very detailed for those of you that don't know how to do a smoky eye at all, or maybe you just haven't done one in a while and wanted a refresher. But yeah, this is the basic steps for any smoky eye, and you can apply this with any colors that you like. But I'm going to be using the basic browns and blacks to create this smoky look. So if you want to see how I created this smoky eye, then just keep on watching. I've already done everything except for the eyes. This is just an eye tutorial. If you're interested in how I did my face today, you can watch my last video on the transition palette because that's pretty much the same way that I did all of my makeup today. And I'm also using the transition palette for this look today as well. First, I'm going to prime my eyes using my Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. And I just apply this with my fingers. So like I said, I'm going to be using the new Dominique Cosmetics Transition Palette today. And this is just going to be a classic smoky eye. So really, you can use any palette. You're just going to need a light colored shade, a brown colored, I'm probably going to use this shade, a brown colored shade, a in-between shade, and then a dark shade. Okay, so light, medium, a little bit darker, and then darkest. So 4 shades total. First, taking this flat packing brush from Sephora, I'm going to start with this first shade, Frothy. And I'm applying this all over the crease, and this is just going to help keep everything really smooth and blended when we add other shadows later. Next, taking this medium-sized fluffy brush from Morphe, I'm going to use the shade Toffee, which is a light brown. And I'm applying this in the crease and a little bit above the crease. This is going to be our highest shade. And I'm just using back and forth windshield wiper motions. On the outer corner, I usually do like a little circle, and then I go back and forth in the crease. And I'm using this light brown shade because we want to have a shade that's pretty close to our skin tone, which was that lightest shade that I used. And then you want to have a shade that's a little bit darker than that, which is this shade. And then the next shade will get a little bit darker, and then a little bit darker. It's supposed to be like an ombre effect. Next, using this small fluffy brush from Morphe. And I think I was going to use mocha, but I think instead I'm going to use coffee beans because it's a little bit darker. But you want to use a darker brown shade for this. And this shade is going to go only on the lid, and you don't want it to go very high. We are not going past the crease with this dark brown shade. So see how I'm not going past the crease? We don't want to go too high. It's going to blend in there a little bit later, but right now, just leave it alone. Next, I'm taking this tapered blending brush from Lexi. This is a 243. And I'm not using any extra product. I'm just using this to help blend the crease. Next, I'm taking a large fluffy brush from Morphe with no extra product on it, and I'm just using this to blend out the whole lid so that everything is seamless. Next, I'm taking this small, dense brush that I'll have a lot of control over. This is from the Urban Decay Electric palette. And next is the black, and I'm going to go in with the shade Smokey. And you want to make sure that you angle your brush like this because we're just going to keep this very close to the lash line. And if you angle it down like this, you're going to be pushing the product up too high. So angle your brush like this, and we're just pushing it into the lash line. And then you can kind of wiggle it a little bit too. It's kind of like you're doing eyeliner, but really smoked out. And if you want it to be more angled, foxy, and modern, then only do the outer 3/4 of your eye and don't really put any black on the inner corner because it's just going to make your eye appear more closed. And you really can't forget to angle your brush. That's like the most important step. Next, I'm taking this pointed fluffy brush from Morphe and no extra product, and I'm using this to help blend that black out. But I'm not really trying to move it up, I'm just trying to diffuse the edges. So I'm wiggling the brush back and forth, and then towards the edge, I kind of do like a little flicking motion, just like I would normally do with like eyeliner. Pretty much do that for every look because I like that wing shape for myself. And this is it for the upper lids. And now time to do the lower lash line. Using this small fluffy brush from Sephora, and I'm just using that second shade we used, Toffee, which was the light brown. And I'm just running this along the lower lash line. Next, I'm using this dense flat brush from Morphe and that third dark brown shade we used, Coffee Beans. And I'm putting this along the lower lashes, but I'm keeping it really close to the lash line and not blending it down yet. And I'm also keeping it on the outer 3/4 of my lower lash line. And then I'm taking that pointed fluffy brush from Morphe that I used to blend out the black shade on the top lid, and I'm using that to blend out the lower lash line. Next, I'm going to fill in the waterline on my top and bottom lashes, and I'm using my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade 0. And I'm using this to make sure that there is no gap in between the black eyeshadow and my lash line on the upper lashes. And for this, you want to go all the way to the inner corner. And then I'm also using it to fill in the waterline on my lower lash line as well. And this really shows you the difference that like a smoky eye was gonna make versus like this could be like my normal makeup where I don't fill in the waterline. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill in the other side. And that finishes the eyeshadow and liner. All that is left is some lashes, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera, and I'll be right back. And I am back with my lashes and mascara done, and that completes this smoky eye tutorial. I really love how this look turned out. It is very smoky and sultry, and I really haven't done a smoky look in such a long time, and these are so fun to look at yourself. It's just like a big difference than what you normally look like, but I always love a smoky eye look. It is just to die for. But let me know what you think down below. Do you like this palette? This is my second look using the Transition palette from Dominique Cosmetics, and I really like it. So this eye look is with this palette, and also all of my bronzing and blush is done with this palette. So yeah, let me know what you think about this. And if you haven't seen my other video reviewing this palette, definitely check that out. I'll leave a link down in the description. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss my next new video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!